Well, hello everyone. Michael here, simsportsgaming.com, and we are going to be streaming here episode 28 of our MLB The Show franchise stream. And it's yeah, it's a big stream. I tweeted about it yesterday, but Casey Mize has been called up to the Detroit Tigers, and who will make his MLB debut here against the first place White Sox on the road. It's a tall order to make your first start, but it was really a move that became necessary after a trade that the Tigers made. I knew I wanted to at least wait until the draft to kind of see how things shook out. Um, at the same time, I'm not in a rush to make a ton of moves just yet. I said I didn't really want to make moves before the trade deadline too much, but if there were opportunities that came up that seemed to make sense, I would take a look at those. And so, for instance, like I am really not looking to move any of our hitters just yet because our offense has been pretty rough. And I mean, to create more holes than that is really, really going to have this season go downhill even faster than it has been recently. But pitching has been a pretty decent spot for us. Again, we had some depth in the minors, and it really became a timing issue here with getting the most value out of a starting pitcher in our rotation and getting Casey Mize, our number one prospect in the organization, his chance to start coming up here and playing. I mean, he's 22 years old right now, and you think about the timing. An MLB team has 6 years of team control, and that's including arbitration years and all that sort of stuff. So, I mean, he will be basically he'll be in his season 29 age. He'll be in his age 29 season before he becomes a completely unrestricted free agent. And so again, it's just kind of a timing issue there. By waiting a little bit longer, you can delay that. He can avoid, Super 2 status, which is kind of an accelerated arbitration process, and things like that. So the timing really worked out. It wasn't something I was necessarily looking to do. I mean, I would have been comfortable going the whole year, not having Casey Mize on the team. If the Tigers were a first place team and our rotation was solid and we were buying pieces, I'd have no problem leaving him down and having him maybe make the team next year. So, but that's what's going on here. So let's talk about the trade that opened this up. The Tigers traded Matthew Boyd. So Matthew Boyd is gone, and again, the rotation is more just kind of in an order out of just kind of necessity of how the game follows the order. Um, so again, in no particular order, that kind of bumps Fulmer up to the top, even though he's been struggling. He's been pitching much, much better as of late. But again, our rotation is looking like this now, with Casey Mize slotting into the Matthew Boyd spot, even though Matthew Boyd was our ace. And we end up, he goes to the, wait for it, the Cincinnati Reds. And so Matthew Boyd slots into their rotation. And the way I went about this trade, it was very methodical, to be honest. I really took some time to kind of look through. And, I first just started shopping Matthew Boyd around. I was seeing tons of offers, and it's kind of overwhelming a little bit. When you go in and you shop a player around, you get multiple offers from nearly every team in the league, and that just seems kind of highly unlikely. And so I said, well, it needs to be a team that this would make sense. And so really the first thing I did was I went through and I looked at the standings within each division. And to me, it's like if you were like less than like 4 games or more in your division, and maybe even in the wild card, it made sense. So if we look at the National League, I was looking at, okay, Dodgers and Diamondbacks, sure, they could be in the mix. Cubs, Brewers, Reds, sure, they could be in the mix. Braves, Phillies, Marlins, they could be in the mix, and so on, right? Astros, Angels, White Sox and Cleveland, Red Sox, Yankees, and the Rays were the teams. So the next thing I did then was I would go through and I looked at their rotation, right? And I said, okay, is this a team? So like for instance, if we go to Boston, I think was the first team. We won't look at all these, but I looked at Boston and I said, okay, Matthew Boyd is roughly like an 80. If his morale's set, he's roughly around an 80. And so I was like, well, there's no way he would be like a fifth starter on a team. You wouldn't overspend and get a fifth starter because in the playoffs you only use four, right? And even though he's going to help them down the stretch, it didn't make sense. So I looked and I said, okay, Boston makes sense. I mean, they have 3 guys who are above 80. So even at worst case, he could slot in their top 4. And then I just started to look at like their ERAs, and I didn't get too deep. I didn't look at advanced metrics, but I kind of looked and I was like, okay, I'm even going to let Eduardo Rodriguez, like he's got a bad ERA, going to let that slide. and say they have 3 bona fide starters. And as long as these guys weren't like lights out, which you could say, Teddy Stankovic has been, but Nathan Evoli, I said, well, he hasn't really been great. But again, it wasn't like super pressing for Boston. So some of the teams I was like, I don't know, I'm not really sure. The Yankees, for instance, were a team I said no, because they already had 4 starters or at least an 81 overall. So I said they're not going to be interested. And I just kind of went through, and it really came down to a couple of teams. Surprisingly, the Marlins were actually one of the teams, um, because they're actually in a pretty good position. And Matthew Boyd doesn't cost a ton of money. He's arbitration eligible, so he's still got team control. I said, okay, this could actually work. And I really came down to the Marlins and, of course, the Reds. And the player we were looking at, I tweeted out, but the player on the Marlins we were looking at, I got to find out where he is now. He was a right fielder. It's Jesus Sanchez, who I liked. He's 22 years old. He has not played in the majors yet, but he's got pretty decent, hitting ratings across the board, except for discipline. And I think what ended up kind of steering me away from Jesus Sanchez, I wasn't thrilled with his discipline, and I wasn't thrilled with the fact that we actually have some depth in right field. We also just drafted Joseph, who is the right fielder we picked up with better potential than the number 1 overall pick. And so I said, well, again, not that they have to just stay in right field, but that just didn't make a ton of sense. We also have a player very similar to this, a left-handed outfielder who's like, just kind of solid with some decent power, in Christian Stewart. And so it just didn't seem like a huge impact. And so I ended up passing on that deal. And obviously we went with the Reds here. And as we look at the Reds rotation again, we see Matthew Boyd, and his morale is kind of low right now. It was bumped up for us because he was considered our ace. He's upset with his individual performance, but again, I think he will hopefully bounce back for them. He is in a bit of a hitter's park there. But so Matthew Boyd goes to the Reds, and who we ended up picking up, we got 2 players. Let me go back to Detroit. We got 2 players for him, one of which you already probably saw if you follow me on Twitter, and that is shortstop Jose Garcia. So we get Jose Garcia, again, a kind of a defensive-minded, but still developing hitter, who can also play second base, but primarily picked up here because I just like his profile. He's, again, defense is already pretty darn solid, with plenty of potential to grow. He can run the bases. He's got good speed, and he's already a pretty decent contact hitter for his age, especially. So really kind of fit the mold of what we were looking for. No major league experience, so again, plenty of team control, and he made a lot of sense. If you look at kind of the depth, we really don't have a ton of promise. I still like Nico Goodrum, but Nico Goodrum is probably going to be like the Matthew Boyd of our team next year. I'll probably let him start in the team, possibly even start. But unless he can get that vision and contact against righties up, he's just not really a full-time player in my eyes, even though I really do like his defense. He's just not a guy, especially at 28, he'll be 29 next year, that we're going to be able to necessarily build around. Jordy Mercer, again, is probably just a 1-year rental. And so as you look through, there's really not a whole lot here. We have Escalona. He was the same age, but you can see nowhere near the potential of what we just picked up in Jose Garcia. I do like Willie Castro, but again, he's just got C potential. So really, it's kind of at this point, it's letting kind of Willie Castro and Jose Garcia kind of push each other, and we'll see. I expect Jose Garcia to pass him and to probably be our top shortstop prospect in the team. So this made a lot of sense to bring in Jose Garcia, who we currently put in AAA just for that reason. Like, these guys are just kind of duking it out, really, all 3 of these guys, and just to see who they come up with and whatnot. We also, if you watched a couple episodes ago, we did draft a shortstop who I also like. But his potential isn't quite what we thought. Deep potential. He's only 20, but again, really nice defensive profile. Can run the bases. This guy's got a lot better of a power profile too. So Danny Gilbert as well. So we have a few guys here in the mix. There's no clear front runner. I would say I don't think any of these guys will probably be the shortstop maybe next year. Maybe one or two of them might get a spell or a cup of coffee, as they say. But I don't know long term. Again, but creating that competition. Danny Gilbert might be the most advanced of the group. He is the highest overall rated and he's younger, but he's not going to probably grow as quickly. He might be close to, kind of being what he is at this point. But Danny Gilbert, who we picked up in the, I believe the 5th round of the draft, we had a total of 7 picks there with the compensation picks. I mentioned Steven Joseph, right? He's the right fielder we picked up. The secondary positions, again, they will come back after you advance to the offseason, I'm happy to report. But he's an outfielder, and again, we just felt like getting the player that we were looking at from Miami just didn't make as much sense as bringing in shortstop. Is such an important position. Really wanted to make sure we had something like that locked down. The other player that we picked up, if you looked at the original offer, it included some other guys, right? I only ended up trading Matthew Boyd. We ended up kind of negotiating a little bit further, and they were offering me a handful of different players. If I go back to the Reds, just to kind of give you an idea of some of the, there was a couple even like Discalfani was a guy. I was like, oh, we could bring him in, and again, he's just gonna basically, it would have been like a swap. I don't even know why they would have done this trade. But he would have just kind of taken over for Matthew Boyd. He has not pitched well. He's only pitched in 2 games. But again, very small sample size. And so it just wasn't something I was really looking to do. They offered us like Jose De Leon, I think, was another guy. I think he was in at least one of the different offers. But his name came up. Again, nice, but we have a lot of depth. There were some relievers that they had kind of thrown into the mix. I can't remember who they were off the top of my head now. There was a catcher I was actually pretty close to taking in the deal. Where was it? Well, Kurt Casale was another guy, but he's currently injured. But again, just would have been like a 1-year rental, arbitration eligible, but him being older. I think if we had already moved one of the catchers, like if we had moved Austin Romine, he would have made sense to bring in. But again, I didn't really see the point in that. It might have been this guy. I think there was just a young catcher. But again, he's only 56 and he's 24 already. It just wasn't like a very overwhelming offer. Anyway, the gist is, and again, we turned down the offer with Jonathan India, even though I did like him. We turned it down for a couple of reasons, because they also wanted Vizcaíno in the deal. They also wanted, I think it was like Travis Demerit or something, and they wanted quite a bit more for him. And I like Jonathan India, but the thing is, the Tigers have a very, very similar player at third base, and that's Isaac Paredes, who's already 20, he's already 66, and you look, they have a very, very similar profile. And so to me, again, very similar to why we didn't do the deal in right field. I said, you know what, I can probably get something even, I could make another really nice deal for Vizcaíno later in the season. I also think he's going to make the All-Star game, so I kind of want to make sure we have like a legit All-Star, because I like to play that game as like a player lock and that sort of thing. So, and again, just kind of maximizing his value, I think we can probably continue to build him up, get him continuing to lead the league in saves and things like that, and just kind of keeps the storyline going with that a little bit more. So I passed on him. Anyways, let's get to the point, right? We ended up picking up actually a relief pitcher, which I know is not super exciting, but there's a couple of reasons why I took the offer that they gave us for Lucas Sims. But Lucas Sims is the guy we got from the Reds. He's a 25-year-old right-handed reliever. Primary pitch is a slider. He also throws a sinker, change-up curveball, and of course a four-seam fastball. Big strikeout guy, can limit hits, can be susceptible to home runs. He's a day player. He's a stopper. And the reason we ended up getting him, first off, he has pitched in the majors before. His basic stats aren't great. His advanced metrics also not great. So again, it could be a bit of a project, but he's just 25, plenty of team control left. And the reason we went with Lucas Sims is if you look at our current setup of relievers, right? Cedeno has a mutual option for next year, probably going to be gone. He's also 33. Joe Jimenez will be back. Alex Wilson, unrestricted free agent, going to be gone. Buck Farmer should be back. Shouldn't be a problem bringing him back. Daniel Bard is 34. Probably, even though he's arbitration eligible, probably won't be back. Nick Ramirez is a lefty, and then that's it, right? Same thing, closer's gone. So to me, it's like we actually were going to have a bit of a shortage, even with right-handed relievers, even though it's kind of the easiest thing to get. And so Lucas Sims, to me, is the guy that makes sense. Like, he can come in and take over that Daniel Bard role, being a decent stopper, getting that strikeout when we need it. And so Lucas Sims is a guy that I think we can slot into the team next year, and possibly even this year if there's an injury. He's probably the first reliever that we'd be calling up here. So, but for now he's in AAA. So that's the deal. Again, it's not earth-shattering. There's no A potential guys, anything like that. But I thought the game did a pretty good job of like they didn't want to overpay. Even when I was looking at like Joe Adell or something like that, they are just asking for quite a bit back. And again, Joe Adell, this isn't really a player that we necessarily need with Riley Green being in the mix in the center field. And so again, just kind of making sure that he has, because the other thing too is like, well, you could play them both, correct? But like you also have to make sure that they're getting their at bats in the minors, right? And for teenagers, I like to leave them in A ball, truthfully. But as he starts to move up, like if you have too many guys kind of lumped around him, he could sit the bench and his development gets impacted and things like that. So I like to kind of make sure that those guys maybe have some competition. But if you're an A guy, I really want to make sure you have a good path to playing time. So we have Daz Cameron, a few years older, kind of taking over the Double A role. But again, next year he'll bump up. Riley Green will bump up the Double A and so on, right? So just kind of creating those, I guess, path to the majors, if you want to call it that. So that's the deal. Again, it probably most importantly for the Tigers in the immediate is it frees up a roster spot for Casey Mize, which of course is the focus here for this stream as we go into game number 2 here for this really important. Again, I mean, at this point, every series can be important for the Tigers, but if we have any hope at all of just hanging around, we got to start winning more games. We have to consistently start winning more games. And maybe trading our ace pitcher isn't the best way to do that, but I don't really see Matthew Boyd as being an ace. I see him as being a fairly replaceable pitcher, especially when you replace him with a Casey Mize. So it made a lot of sense. This is definitely a move we made for the future of the team, but also, really in the now. Getting Casey Mize's feet wet here and kind of throwing him to the fire a little bit against a pretty tough White Sox team. So I am going to just check the chat here, and then we're going to be jumping in momentarily. Let's see. Ryan, you didn't like the Reds deal? Is that what you're saying? Let's see. Setso Castro Garcia. Yes, exactly, Ryan. Yep, a little competition there. Yeah, relief pitchers, again, it just depends how you look at it. I think in the playoffs, they're a far more valuable piece when you're making constant pitching changes. But over the course of a season, if you're just measuring WAR, they don't really have a ton of WAR. They don't make, again, they can impact like an individual game. So again, you can make that argument there for sure. But if you're just kind of talking straight, kind of value they add like per roster spot, I mean, they're by far the least valuable. Ryan, so yeah, your internet was acting up, but it was Lucas Sims, relief pitcher. Um, he was the second player in the Reds deal. So yeah. But anyway, we are ready to jump in, but let's take a look. We really got 2 really strong young pitchers going today. So let's look at the White Sox starting pitcher, and that's Lucas Giolito. I can never say his name right. I think that's how you say it. So again, he's a guy that they got. Goodness, this was part of the trade they made at the Nationals for the outfielder. I'm drawing a blank on his name now. The contact hitting outfielder. It's gonna bug me. I have to go look now. What in the world is his name? It's like right on the tip of my tongue. I think he still plays for the Nationals. Yeah, Adam Eaton. So this was the Adam Eaton trade. White Sox traded Adam Eaton, and they ended up getting Lucas Giolito, or Gigliotti, or however you say his name. And so he's going for them. Essentially, their ace, a potential 25. I mean, honestly, this is what Casey Mize could look like, if not better, in a few years for sure. Very, very similar. You can see he's an untouchable and an illusionist, so he's going to throw. He's going to be tough, especially those breaking pitches could be tough. He is susceptible to the home run, so it's something we'll keep an eye on the season. 60-something innings pitched, 4.55 ERA. Advanced metrics really not that great. His home runs per 9 are atrociously bad. Striking out a lot of guys, not walking too many, so that's a really nice ratio. But that right there is quite impactful. So he's really been kind of a weak link for the White Sox here this season. So, as we said many times before, a beatable pitcher that will probably shut us down. As for the Tigers starting pitcher today, you may have heard of him, Casey Mize, the number 1 overall draft pick from the 2018 draft. You can see he's still developing. There's nothing here that's just like going to knock your socks off. But this game, at least what it seems, it does a pretty decent job of like, it's not always what you see is what you get. And sometimes that's good and sometimes that's bad. 5-pitch repertoire. Again, a lot of pitches that are kind of part of the fastball family. Really, the only true breaking pitch is a slurve with him. So again, he's going to be using just a lot of stuff to get guys out. I mean, just trying to, just gas people really. Throws pretty hard for a 22-year-old. This is one of the things I wish this game would update. I mean, 100K, like, I get it, like minor league salaries and so on, but like when you call a player up, it should adjust his salary. Like, because especially when you're telling me like it ends up pissing the player off and it brings his overall down. That's just kind of silly. And again, I could go through and I'm pretty sure you can offer extensions, can't you? Or can you not at this point? But either way, I feel like that's a huge advantage over the AI. So unfortunately, this whole year he's going to basically be pissed off because he's being drastically underpaid. So, but anyway, Casey Mize gets to start. We are going to simulate today's games. By the way, we have 99 games left in the season. We've played 63, so I've crossed down. We are now into double digits games left. The next checkpoint that's like that is when you get down to single digits, and I can tell you from doing this 2 other seasons, that's a crazy feeling. Yeah, that's fun. I honestly think the hardest game to play is like the second to last game because you're like so just like, oh my gosh, this time the next game it'll be over. I only have one more 4th inning. There's only one more 6th inning, and so on. It used to be a pretty cool thing. So just checking our complete games here. We haven't had one in forever, and I did test. I did a quick sim the other day just to make sure that the settings were still set up right, and they are. Last sim I mentioned we tried starting pitcher stamina at 8. I didn't like it, truthfully. I'm going to use both at 6 when the game starts. So of course we always sim with 8 and then manager hook at 8. When I start the game, I'm going to put this to 6. I'm going to put this back to 5. And then when they go to their bullpen, I will bump that back up to 8. You could probably leave it at 5, honestly. It's not really going to make a big deal, but when you simulate the games in the background, you definitely want to make sure that's at 8, as well as that being at 8. That's 100%, I promise, that's where you want that. So that's what we're going to go with today. Again, Casey Mize, I think we saw he has like a 78 stamina, 79. So again, just keeping that in mind here. And we'll see. I mean, of course, we just want him to do well and hopefully not get shelled or anything, but you never know. He's playing a good team. Ideally, maybe I don't have him start against the first place team, but hey, he's the first overall pick. If you're going to do it, you're going to do it, right? So there's Casey Mize, and then we're jersey number 74. That was just one of his numbers, I guess, that he's worn before. It was the number that was into the roster, and I did check online. I think he's also kind of mixing, and he's mixed in number 32, which is I think what he wore in college, but that's Michael Fulmer's number. So as far as the lineup, again, we're going against a righty. Nothing crazy, but I am taking CJ Cron off first base. He's just been brutal. And we have an off day coming up Monday, so if anything, I'll give guys an off day tomorrow. Like Jake Rogers will sit tomorrow. I wouldn't mind putting in Nico Goodrum, but then we'd have to take out one of these guys. Because I do like Nico's defense, but no, that's okay. The only other guy really I'm considering would be Brandon Dixon. He can play a number of different spots, so I'm just trying to think here. I could put him in for Cameron Maven, but again, that could also just be for tomorrow. So let's just go with the regular lineup today. That's fine. Some rankings there. Dead last in stolen bases, but it's nice to see you don't have anything else that's dead last. Or first, like overwhelmingly first in something. Stolen base is just more of a personal preference thing. State of the Franchise says, I hope for MLB 21 they add the ability to have gameplay in separate sim sliders. I actually, well, two things on that. That won't happen, I don't think. Number two, I hope they don't. There are a few sliders that are separate, right? There are some that impact both. Most games have it set up where like the sliders really only impact the gameplay. The sim engine is the sim engine, but in this game it's weird. There are a few that impact the sim engine. Starting pitcher stamina is one of them. Of course, the injury slider is one of them. Those are the biggest ones. Of course, the trade slider. But pitcher stamina definitely impacts simulated games. So does manager hook. Again, for better or worse. And there may be others, but I've never noticed it. I've never noticed there being any kind of issue with like hitting ones and whatnot. And I mean, again, I've never had a problem with it, but I know for sure the pitching ones do. And I had that question asked to me today, I think on Operation Sports. And it's the first thing I test every year is I test the simulation engine. I try to get the complete games by starting pitchers properly balanced along with relief pitcher appearances, that sort of thing. It's the first thing I do. And luckily, again, better or worse, the game's messed up out of the box. So it's kind of a bummer on that. But the pro of that is they never adjust it. So it's usually very, very similar each year. I do a test sim on default. I say, oh, yep, same thing this year. And then you just adjust it again. It's very, very, tweaks are minimal. Probably the best comparison I could give you is if you guys use, if you play Madden and you use those XP sliders. I'm totally trying to blank on the guy's name because they're great. But the XP sliders, and I'm just forgetting the guy's name now. But the guy who does the XP sliders on Operation Sports, if you look year to year, they're very similar, right? Because they haven't really adjusted the XP acquisition in that game. But they're slightly different too, right? There's like a few different points or something like that, or like 5 or 6 points here or there. They can be off a little bit. So let's see, just checking. Okay, yeah, I think we're set to go. And yes, Ryan, they wanted Vizcaino to get India, and it just wasn't worth it to me. Wasn't something we needed. So 6 we're going to try. We'll go that today.
Leading off for the Tigers, the shortstop, Jordy Mercer. Hey. First pitch, 110.
See, he only has one quirk on this screen. It's really weird, right? Because he had the cheesy one or whatever it was, I think it was. Or the K, like excels at getting Ks, but now he doesn't. Oh, it's just very strange.
Hey. 0-2. Ball, that's out.
Swing by Jordy Mercer. Check that wind here.
Batting second, the third baseman, Harold Castro.
Wind's blowing out, but still didn't quite get on. Just didn't get enough of it there.
At the ball. Ball 1, no strike.
A lot of people here. There's only like 13,000 in the seats yesterday for a first place team. It's pretty damn sold out today, it looks like.
Inside, ball 2. That's ball 3. Hey! Down to 3-1. Nope. Ball 4. Batting third, the first baseman.
Giolito, right? Lucas Giolito, is that his name? A little bit of a cold stretch here for Cabrera, 1 for 15 over his last 4 games. Drawn walks, but still leads the team in hits.
No ball, 2 strikes.
Got under that one.
Batting fourth, the second baseman.
Very late swing.
Jonathan.
Probably a ball, but just a bad swing.
Hole in 1.
Well, it's going to be Casey Mize time here.
Leading up for the White Sox, the center fielder, Lowe Garcia.
Inside, ball 1.
Nope, I'm going to lead off double. Oh yeah, forgot we have throwing on manual. I have to remember that.
Batting second, the second baseman,
I have to remember that today.
Madrigal.
Well, 2 pitches in, you've got a guy on second base. Well, it's his first recorded out of his career.
Batting.
So day player quirk. I mean, this is a pretty bad matchup here, but you don't really want to walk to get to Jimenez, even though he's kind of had an underwhelming season. I'm glad that Tim Anderson, though, is still a pickoff artist. It's important to know.
One-oh.
Something like Casey Mize in college his senior year, or his last year, I think it was his senior year. he walked like single-digit number of batters or something crazy. Like he hardly walked anybody.
That's out. Yeah. 2 balls, 1 strike.
I have to remember, I have to throw. Oh my gosh, this is so difficult to remember.
The left fielder, Lowe. Jimenez.
Not having a great year. So again, I guess we do our best to pitch to him.
Ball. Down.
Three straight splitters, so we're going to be done throwing that pitch. Casey Mize gets his first strikeout. Not bad. Leadoff double. It strands him.
Leading off for the Tigers.
Alright, just going to get caught up on the chat here real quick. Yeah, I try to be mindful of base runners too. It does seem to help.
The designated hitter, DJ Lowe.
Ball. Ball. That's inside.
It's got a four-seamer that breaks similar to a two-seam. At least it did on that pitch.
I got to count 2 and 2. Safe.
Wow. Well,
Batting 6.
got bailed out there. I guess that makes up for the weird call yesterday. And see, I mean, that just shouldn't be a close play, right? But it's that perfect, it's that playing it perfectly off the wall stuff. And again, I don't even need to show you the replay. I mean, you could see it, right? I mean, it was just played perfectly off the wall.
Ball. That pitch is up.
Cameron Maven could be in a small deal at some point this season. Obviously doesn't really have a long-term role. I think he's 32. He's got a nice season for us. His third stint at least with the Tigers. originally drafted by the Tigers.
Ball, that's too
He
high.
was actually part of the deal that brought Miguel Cabrera to the Tigers. Him and Andrew Miller. I think that was pretty much it. Tigers also took on the contract of what's his face? The guy at the high leg kick, who was with the Cubs for a while, and I'm totally forgetting his name now, but that was part of that deal as well. Ooh, a little too late there.
2 strikes. Free and 2.
Oh yeah, Dontrell Willis.
That's
Thank you.
7. The center fielder.
I also remember when Verlander made his debut. It was 4th of July weekend. I remember that. Yeah, the ball rocketed off the wall, but again, like, how did the fielder know that, right? That's kind of the whole point. It's like, it's just always played perfectly. That 2C movement there again.
That's outside. I got the count 1 and 2. No, that's down.
Close pitch there. Ooh, how did I miss that? A little too early?
Batting
It
in.
could have just also been his quirks. He's got kind of
Number 14.
like the illusionist, which I think that was a changeup. Yeah, so I mean, I'm surprised they didn't put that in play at least. I not want to swing with that. Can't hit with Christian Stewart.
Ball inside. Nope, that's off the plate. Ball 2.
Leadoff double. Can't do anything with it.
Leading off for the White Sox.
Yeah, and the game's made strides
The first
with fielding.
baseman.
Like, you know, you get kind of, like, I love how if you actually have the little, like, if you're doing manual fielding and they have the little cursor where the ball's going, it reacts differently based on the fielder rating. That's awesome. Like, that's a brilliant idea. Like, no baseball game that I know of has ever done that. But, like, let's do it around the walls and stuff, too. Like, now there should be some players who, like, hey, he's played in this park for 15 years. He knows every damn nook and cranny of the park. Like, that's cool, too. But, like, it should be something, and again, maybe the capabilities and the extra depth they can put in these games with the PS5, maybe there'll be something like that. But, and I get it. I don't know. Like, that doesn't really play in the Diamond Dynasty, right? But maybe it could. Like, what if you kept a guy on your Diamond Dynasty team for 15 of their short little seasons or something like that? And then he's acquired this, like, mastery of the ballpark that you play in, whether it's Polo Field or Polo Grounds or Comerica Park or whatever it is. That would be really, really cool.
Ball. Counts 1 and 0. I got 1 ball, 1 strike.
Ooh, wow.
Count is 1 and 2.
Way out in front of that slurve. Gosh dang it. I didn't put that pitch where I wanted it. I have to remember to throw. Come on, Mike, throw the ball. Remember to throw.
Batting 6, the designated hitter, Edwin Encarnacion.
No, he's safe. Aye. 0-1's the count. And at the count, 0 and 2.
Ooh, yeah, wow. Get people to chase that cutter. No doubt.
Batting 7, the right fielder, no more.
There's a lot of late movement.
Runner!
Oh yeah, I forgot to throw again. Holy cow. It's just, I mean, for 60-something games I haven't thrown. That's a bummer. That was an easy out. Fair ball. Kidding me?
Batting 8, the catcher, Yasmani Rondal. Batting 9, the third baseman, Casey Mize.
Well, stolen base hurt. I also think that was I don't know, it was borderline. There's a good old wall suction.
Leading off for the Tigers, the catcher, number 34, Jake Rogers.
Ball 1, no strike. That's ball 2.
Oh my gosh, how did he get to that?
He's out.
That ball like just magically bounced up into his glove.
Up next for the Tigers, the shortstop,
That's why we have reaction lowered a little bit.
count 1-1.
Yeah, chased it a little bit there. Looked like it was going to be a little bit more on the edge than it was. But
Harold Castro.
let's see where that pitch was. Yeah, a little off the plate you can see there.
Nope, that's the ball.
Ah.
Leading off for the White Sox, the center fielder, Lowe Garcia.
That's a ball.
All right, I'm remembering the throw.
Now batting, the second
Ball
base.
finds its way through. Good hitter. Had a good year.
Ball, that's out. No, he's in there. Safe, he's good.
Jeez, look at that. Those hits are frustrating. That's a double play. That's right there for the taking.
The batter, number 7, shortstop, Tim Anderson.
He's going. 1-0.
Gosh damn it. That was my bad. So obvious. Like, it's just so frustrating. It's 2 outs on the base paths that I've just given them. But I'm just rusty throwing. I've literally hit the wrong button. Wow. Alright, well.
Now batting, left fielder, Lowe.
I mean, obviously you make the play at 1 there, but that was hit so hard right to him. He looked flat-footed to me. Like, to me, I just thought we had a for sure out at home, even though it was a tag. I mean, like, just that right there, and that's just, and he, for some reason, steps to the outside. Like why? Well, just pick it up and throw straight home. I mean, that's an easy out. You know, we have that slider at 6, and I wonder, again, like I said, it doesn't necessarily impact, what do you want to call it? Errors, right? I mean, it potentially could. No, it's just a weird thing.
He's in.
See what I'm considering here, like, because I get it, we want more errors, but like, they're not even being recorded, because like that should have been recorded as an error. Kind of torn. Just pausing to think here, check the chat. Fielding errors. I don't know, I can't decide. Because like I said, they're not being recorded properly, so all it's really doing is impacting... well, that's the thing, Eric. Like, it happens, but that's not recorded as an error, so all you're seeing is just bad gameplay. It's not helping anything. So that's what I'm just trying to figure out. Like, what's better? I mean, they're not scoring it, so all it's doing is just impacting, like, the number of pitches you're throwing and all this other stuff. Like, it's just... That's a free hit, basically. No, I don't do anything analog. Mine's just button. It's not even like button sensitive or anything like that. It's just, I mean, I can show you guys what it's set at. So for fielding, it's buttons, no feedback. Oh, so it must still take into consideration then my like holding down of the button, right? That's interesting. So then if that's the case, see, I didn't realize, okay, I thought that wasn't the case. So I'll tell you what though, I'm gonna exit this game. For a couple of reasons.
Let's play ball.
I want to restart it for a couple of reasons, which I haven't done all season long, but one is I'm still getting used to the, I'm just remembering the throw when you saw it impact things. So I'm taking a mulligan, which is really rare, but I don't mind doing it. It's not because because I'm losing, it's just I'm seeing things that just, like I said, I just need to get back into the swing of it, just adjusting to throwing again. So yeah, and like I said, I have no problem just taking the rare mulligan. So that would make sense. So let's just reload that up here. Everything else is set to go. Yeah, I never, ever do that, but I think in this instance, it just makes sense. And then we're going to we'll keep them at 6 and just see how it goes. It's fine. Now that I'm cognizant of what the hell's going on, it'll help me. All right, let's try again. So, taking a mulligan. It's even trying to decide if I even, because like, yes, there's rare instances where I get pissed if they throw to the wrong base. I'm just trying to decide. I mean, I guess I'm okay leaving it on. I'm tempted to even put like manual fielding back on because it's fun. I mean, truthfully, like, even in real life, I like playing defense more than hitting. Like, I love playing defense. But, I just don't trust it. I don't know, like, how is the outfield and stuff? I mean, is it better? I just can't stand, like, your guy's just running around and doesn't lock on, and it just seems like a hot mess. So, maybe one thing at a time. Maybe I'll just work on the throwing
Leading
for
off
now.
the afternoon for Detroit.
All right, starting fresh.
Jordy Mercer.
1-0.
First pitch, 111.
Count is 2-1.
I mean, ideally, I do as much manual as I can, fielding, all that stuff. I just don't know if I trust it.
No, that's down.
But I can't leave Casey Mize out to dry because of my stupid button pressing. Hey, look at that. A ball that got through.
Batting second, the third baseman, Harold.
Just pretend this was like a rain out. We didn't reach the fourth inning, and they just restarted the game. I mean, that is technically what they do. So it does happen.
Ball.
That's a good pitch there. Ooh, just late on that.
1-2.
I'm trying to take an extra millisecond like I was doing yesterday. Oof. Way too early on that. And it was out of the zone.
Batting third,
See the change there? See the grip?
Miguel Cabrera.
Who'd have thought, right? We'd have video games one day that has proper grips on baseballs. Pretty wild.
Ball. Ball 1, no strike. That's ball 2. Thank you.
Oh, good pitch. Yep, good pitch. Yeah, we will. I mean, hey, Doug, yeah, at the end of the day,
Jonathan.
At the end of the day, with Jordy Mercer trading him, I mean, I shopped him around just to kind of see. I mean, the game definitely doesn't look at stats. I mean, it's looking at rating, it's looking at age, I'm guessing, things like that. I mean, we aren't getting much for him. Like, there's no point to trade him. Like, truthfully, even at the deadline, I'd rather probably just keep him. I was just getting garbage offers for him. So if anything, he might be a package, you know, to kind of bump a trade up a little bit. Yeah, Eric, we actually traded Matthew Boyd at the beginning of the stream when we talk about that trade. So take a look there.
Go.
Good pitch. Good pitch there. Wasn't ready for that. And a good one to hit.
One ball, one strike.
That's hit pretty well. It's done. He's a road warrior. Burt coming into play there. We'll take it. 10th home run. I think he's the first guy to hit double digits.
That is fifth. The first baseman, TJ Crone.
You know, what I like about that trade is we got better in really every way. I mean, you can make the argument that even a young, inexperienced Casey Mize could be better than Matthew Boyd. And we, of course, beefed up our minors. And that's why I made that trade a little early, because it's like we didn't have to, we're not packing anything in by any means. It's a trade that made us just straight up better. Or as Heidi Watney would say, flat out better. Ooh, good job, CJ Crone. Oh, he said their pitcher was susceptible to the home run. There we see it. Giolito. Lucas Giolito, that is such an Italian name.
I got to count 2-2. What do you got?
Yeah, it's nice to get them up to 25 pitches in an inning. Ooh, just barely got a piece of that. Just fine. You see, like that angle, there's no drama with that camera angle, right?
Ball 4, that's out.
It's a good at bat for CJ Crone. He's playing a lot better. Just cold as can be to start.
The right fielder,
putting up good power numbers, but
Cameron Maben.
Hey. He's out.
we adjusted the sliders, right? After our redo, the rain out. Alright, so here it is. Now we're going to have Casey Mize's official debut. Yep, totally agree, Chris. We would not get a potential. They very well could have if they traded him at the All-Star break last year in real life. He was just lights out good. I mean, super good. And they again, that you know, they wouldn't have gotten, you know, probably not the top end, but I mean, they would have gotten far more. That was his max. The first half of last year, that was his max potential, and they kind of blew it, honestly. Let's see. Yeah, no, I totally agree.
Leading off for the White Sox.
All right, Casey Mize time again. Here we go.
Lowe Garcia.
Nope. Counts 1-0. One and one. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Ooh, look at the movement on that. And I remembered the throw. See, like with auto fielding, or manual fielding, I don't know if I make that play, right?
The second baseman.
And I literally say, I don't know. I know in years past I wouldn't have, because that animation wouldn't have activated. I know the game has made progress on that, because the times I've played Diamond Dynasty, I've seen more animations happen. But you still see far more fielding animations on auto. You just do. But convince me otherwise. If I'm wrong, let me know. I have no problem being corrected on that.
Aye.
They have a different lineup today? This guy's tiny, Nick. Or maybe not. Gosh, he just looks a really tiny dude.
Nope, that's the ball.
Batting third, the shortstop, Tim Anderson.
Okay, gotta remember to throw as the catcher. I have a silly question, right? From this view, it's been so long since I've done this. To throw to second, I hit triangle, right? Pretty sure that's the case. I'm certain he's gonna run at some point.
No, he's in.
Oh, I forgot to put Miguel Cabrera at first today. That's okay. I'll play tomorrow.
Ball, that's low. Hey.
That dude's so tiny. Hilarious. I mean, it's cool and all. Just, I don't think I've seen a player that small. I haven't played at Houston yet. At least I don't think I have. Yeah, Jake Rogers. He's not a very good catcher. Trying to let him develop, though.
Ball, inside. Ah. I got 3-1. 3 balls, 1 strike.
This has a nasty cutter, though. Through the gap. Yeah, I tried to throw that cutter up and in. I've been throwing it away. I really didn't want to walk him. I thought maybe we could sneak it in with that movement. He'd think it's a ball, but it's a good hit. Base open, but again, it's going to pitch here. Boy, oh boy. 2-0. Just like that.
Batting fifth, the first baseman, Jose Abreu.
Guys find their way through. That's okay. I take it. It's part of the restart. Sometimes it's better. Sometimes it's worse. It's a long season. Casey Mize, hopefully, will have a nice long career. So, having a rough inning. Okay. 3 ground ball outs. Gives up 2 runs, but see, that's interesting because I just tapped throw on that, but I mean, it looks like they were like really gunning it.
Leading off for the Tigers, the center fielder, Victor Reyes.
Ball 1.
So much for a 2-run lead.
Ball, that pitch is up.
Batting 8, the left fielder, number 14.
Ooh, gosh, that changeup's tough. Oh my gosh.
0-2.
Telling you, I just can't hit with Christian Stewart. It's just weird.
One ball, 2 strikes.
Change it, something else.
Got him.
Batting 9, the catcher, number 34, Jake Rogers.
Four strikeouts. Wow.
He's out.
Guys want to pause just for a quick second? We are back. Let's see if Casey Mize can settle in. Didn't have a bad inning. Just one of those quick scoring innings.
For the White Sox, the designated hitter, Edwin Encarnacion.
Inside, ball one. Ball two. 2 balls, no strikes. Ball 3. Ball 4.
Batting 7, the right fielder, Nomar Mazara.
Hey. He's out.
No chance to turn 2 there. Take the out you
Batting
get.
8, the catcher,
After that 3-error game yesterday, down to 8th in the American League now. There we go. I think it was 3 errors or 4 or something crazy yesterday.
Ball in. Nope, up
Ooh,
there.
boy. Come on up. Ooh, the 2.
batting 9,
Thought about walking him, but
third baseman,
they have a week 9 hitter, but again, it just gets you to the top of that order sooner, but no regrets.
One zero.
Just calm him down.
Ball right back.
now batting, the center fielder, Lowe Garcia.
Ball 1, no strike. Out.
Interesting thing about restarting this game is it kind of shows you the, we talk about kind of the player consistency, right? There's a consistency slider, and it does impact just the ability of the pitcher to kind of have
The
Just
shortstop,
different kind of outings each time, and you can kind of get a feel.
Mercer.
He was sharper in the first outing, right? Today he doesn't have any strikeouts just yet. It's not quite as sharp. You can still tell he's a good pitcher, though, and he's still getting outs, even in tough situations. So.
Ball. Down. Inside, ball one. Two balls, one strike.
Wish I could hire Jordy Mercer to be my hitting coach. That's what I'd like to do. I have a bad habit of when I see the ball, like where I want to hit it, like I wanted to hit it outside there, you know, to the right field.
Harold Castro.
And I have a bad habit of like I'll put like almost like I'm using directional hitting or something. Still got to square it up. It's just a bad habit. That's what I was trying to do there. Trying to influence the hit. Ooh, got that one quick.
0-1's the count. Ball, that's off the plate. The count, 2-1. Out.
Now batting, the designated hitter, Miguel Cabrera.
Quick inning. 2, 3, 4 guys coming up for the White Sox.
Leading off for the White Sox, the second baseman, Nick Madrigal.
No, that's low. Hey, two. Two count. Full count, 3-2. Out.
The batter, number 7, shortstop, Tim Anderson.
Nope, ball one. I got a ball, one strike.
The batter, the left fielder, Lowe. Jimenez.
Hey!
Fuck that, right over the plate.
The count is 1-2.
First strikeout. I think at least. Patty Watney, time for me to check the chat. Nothing new in the chat.
Leading off for the Tigers, the second baseman, Jonathan Lowe.
Ooh, I thought that was a fast one.
0-1. Off the plate, ball 1.
Good grief.
1 ball, 2
I
strikes.
see that changeup. It's such a good pitch.
That's out.
We got another one. We did. Just the slider away. I still say it's favorite pitch to hit. And that takes me completely across, because on that pitch I'm looking up and in just to kind of defend against the up and in fastball, and then just reacting to everything else. And that's what makes the slider, I think, the easiest pitch to hit, for me at least. Because when you're looking fastball and you take that split second to react, that suddenly puts you right into slider timing. He's a breaking ball hitter and a road warrior, so again, that's a good quirk matchup there.
Up next for the Tigers, the first baseman, TJ Lowe.
Almost got another one. It's too late that time. Saw that pretty well, though.
Ball back inside.
Again, whatever your approach is, everyone's a little different. Just keeping it simple, that's really the key.
Ball, that pitch is out.
Especially important when you're a bad team.
No, inside.
The same thing, looking up and in. Just react out there. That time I went a little too far out, I think. But that was the slider again. Yeah, so you can see that setup though for a slider swing. That's where I thought that was going. Same thing, up and in. And just, yeah, I dropped it too far out. Again, that's just part of my own hitting habit. I tend to kind of drop the bat head outside for whatever reason. It works out well when you get breaking pitches, but it jams you otherwise. And sometimes too, you just take even if you know, like, oh geez, I think I'm getting jammed, like, I'll just take 2 strikes, take a breaking ball swing, just in case it is. I mean, I know I'm kind of screwed with the fastball anyway, so it's like you adjust just in case it's... And you see players do that in real life all the time, where they'll just kind of flail a bat out with one arm. I mean, that's what they're doing. It's the same kind of thing. Ooh. That was the fastball. Tried to adjust way too early. Oof. Again, too early. Saw that pretty well, but this changeup's nasty.
Ball 1.
That's gone. Nope. Damn, just missed it. Check and see where the wind's blowing today.
Now batting, the center fielder, Victor Reyes.
It's blowing out. Yeah.
Count 1-0.
Ah. Dropped the bat head. And that time just didn't drop it enough. Yeah, Jonathan Scope though, 2 home runs, 3 RBIs. I think I mentioned before yesterday's game, I said him and Crowan, I could see him in a big series. Oh my gosh, she's not talking about Casey Mize. She's talking about the White Sox hitting. There's no storyline there. No big deal.
Leading off for the
Except we
White
have people
Sox,
dancing on
the first
in the
baseman.
stands though. We got that.
Okay. I'll pray you.
That's good.
At the ball. The count 1-1. Ball 2. I got 2-1 the count.
Up next is Chicago, the designated hitter.
You don't see enough broken bats
Edwin
in this game.
Encarnacion.
Again, like a simple animation, like walking back to the dugout and just like a slightly cracked bat. Just, you never see it. It's really rare. And I mean, it happens all the time. All the time. You don't see it enough in hockey games either. But I think there's actually a slider for that in NHL though, like broken stick. There's like a broken stick slider. It's pretty amazing. Give me a broken bat slider, that'd be fun.
Ball, that's inside.
No, that's too nice. Let's go with the old cutter. Ooh, wow.
2-2.
Right over the plate. Should be a strikeout ahead. Nope. Didn't hit my spot.
That's ball 4.
Up next is Chicago, the right fielder, Nomar Mazara.
Runner. 0-1.
Thank you. I do that every time. AI, every time you want to do this. Thank you, Casey Mize, for throwing it out of the zone, even on a breaking ball. It's an easy out. Well, why would you do that with 8 speed? Whatever. (2020) hit and run. Who the hell uses the hit and run as like part of their standard offense? I don't know if the 2005 White Sox did that, a team who is notorious for using small ball. I mean, I know they probably did, but like as like a function of their offense. 2 nice innings in a row for Casey Mize. Settling in. Well, he has 8 speed, K, so I mean, that's part of it.
For the Tigers, the left fielder, number
I'm pretty sure I
14.
could have rolled the ball down there. Although we had a guy like that steal a base yesterday, and he was clearly out, but the umpire called him safe. That was nuts. Oh, dang.
0-1's the count.
It's like, I can see things. Obviously, I see things the same. It's just for whatever reason. Poor Christian Stewart. Him and I just aren't a good match.
1-1. That's ball 2.
Doesn't throw that slider very often. Ooh, good pitch. Nice pitch. He's gonna hit a home run this at bat. You watch. Oop, just kidding. Should have known. He's gonna throw Christian Stewart that
Now batting.
change up. Man, pitch is nasty.
Rogers.
1-0.
Looking middle in here. Just in his hot spot here.
That's a ball. You got 2 balls, 1 strike.
Oh, gotta look everywhere now. Oops, tried to check that. That was probably a ball. Good grief. A lot of swings and misses. That change up.
The batter, number 9, shortstop, Jordy Mercer.
Yeah, right. I don't know.
Leading
Like I
up
said, I do
for
think
the
there's a
White
lot of
Sox,
ratings under the hood.
The catcher.
I mean, not a ton of ratings, but like for instance, people don't really open up the edit player and look at the pitch. Like each pitch has like what 3 different ratings, like velocity, movement, accuracy, or consistency, or something like that. And I mean, so I think that's where some of that comes from. And I love that. I wish you could hide. I would hide all ratings if I could in every game. I mean, think how fun this would be if you guys had no idea what Casey Mize's rating was. I mean, it would just be awesome. It could be really, really cool. It'd be hard to make trades even. It'd be really cool. Yeah, but when you throw a fastball like that down the middle and guys swing and miss, I mean, there's something going on there, right? He's not just a 72 overall.
Ball. Look out, 1-1. Nope, inside, ball 2.
Weird, I don't know if they just don't see that splitter or what. I've left it right over the plate a few times, but
Now batting, third baseman, Casey Mize.
0-1's the count. Got him.
he had the position too.
The center fielder, number
Hey, he feels
28,
sharp. I mean, again, he had a rough
Lowe.
first, 2 runs in the first and run in the second. Definitely settling down more. I mean, hell, he's kept us in the game about as good as Matthew Boyd had. And again, that was really the reason for the trade, is I didn't see it as being a huge downgrade. And like, what if Matthew Boyd gets hurt or something and I can't trade him? So I was just like, you know what, we're going to do this trade. It just made sense. But I think most of the other trades, it's going to be closer to the end of July. It's a tough play. That could realistically be scored a hit, but they're going to score an error.
Now
Yeah,
batting, the second
that's
baseman.
fine. Even though I don't know if that's... Yeah, it's pretty routine. I mean,
Madrigal.
it's pretty quick. Those balance out, though, for all the weird ones they don't call errors, so cool with that. Now we got an unearned run out there on first. Get to that ball. Thank you. Got Casey Mize. 74 pitches, so he's still under where you'd want to be for 5 innings, about 75 pitches, so he's been really efficient, especially you consider giving up 3 runs. I mean, I'll take this for his debut. Even giving up the 3 runs, it's not ideal, but
The third baseman.
if he had 74 pitches through 5 innings,
Castro.
he's going to pitch the 6th, so at least come out for the 6th. We gotta start looking for that change. Look at the confidence in his changeup. I mean, and of course, the one time they do, throws me a fastball right down the middle. The 2 guy.
Now
I love the
batting,
down and away pitches
designated
though.
hitter, Miguel.
They work out well with my weird tendency to swing down there. Yep, yeah, NHL's Fog of War, exactly. That's a good call. Yep, the 20 to 80 scout ratings. I mean, it's weird. It's in the prospects. They really, and they kind of like misled people, in my opinion, because they kind of sold it like we had this new rating system. I was like, oh, that's really cool. And then it's only in the scouting part. It's like, well, why would scouts use 2 different rating systems? Like one for pros, and it just doesn't make any sense. But that was a wasted swing. I wasn't gonna hit that anyway. That's hit well. But probably gonna be caught. Oh, over his head. Hey, look, he didn't play it right. Did Miguel Cabrera stretch this into a triple? Look at that. We just got a 0 speed guy to hit a legit triple. It wasn't played perfectly off the wall. We had a little bit of suction. Almost looked like he lost it for a second. There we go, MLB The Show. See, more stuff like that. That's good. That animation sequence wasn't exactly timed up great, but... And somebody mentioned in yesterday's stream, the sound of the bat, the crack of the bat when you get a perfect swing. Sounds great. Even feels good, like just off your controller. It's kind of weird. So, Giolito, 85 pitches. Again, we have the stamina at 6, and he's in the yellow, into the 6th inning. Yeah, again, it's not so much the innings, right? It's just the pitches we're concerned with. So 85. Yeah, I mean, you could make the argument it could be up at 7. I forgot what his stamina was, though, coming into the game. I think it was, let's look, wasn't it 80 something? Sometimes these ratings are different, too, I've noticed, inside and outside of a game. 84 stamina, yeah, I mean, you could definitely make the argument it could be at 7, maybe even 8. We tried 8. I didn't like 8 for the user, at least not for me, but... come on now. So here, right, honestly, just a ball on the ground, either of these guys scores the run, even Cabrera. Just about anything in the outfield, well, not anything, but they have some pretty good arms out there. Anything in the left field, just about, it's going to probably score. Oh, that was the pitch to do it right there. Damn. Just missed it. Question here is, do we go contact swing? But It was a tough call, whether we go contact swing here or not. I think I'm going to, actually. At least on 1-2.
2 balls, 2 strikes.
So that was a contact swing.
Now
And
that
happily take that.
first baseman, TJ Strong.
Well, he's got all 4 of our RBIs today. So there you go. Somebody asked yesterday, how often do you use contact swing? Just used it. Part of that's with CJ Crone on deck. Another guy is pretty easy to strike out. I mean, if we struck out or something on that last one, we would have left that run stranded there, potentially. Oh, goodness. I knew that was going to change that. Still didn't hit it. The Miguel Cabrera triple. Only 4th pitch coming up here.
One ball, 2 strikes. Two count.
Good pitch. Good pitch. Huh. 4 runs on 4 hits. That's not going to happen every day.
Leading up.
But see, that's exactly why more dirty
shortstop,
plays like that can be a
Tim
really, really good thing.
Anderson.
So let's check Casey Mize here. He's doing well. As far as his endurance and whatnot goes. So 1 pitch out. I just tried to throw to third just to see if the game would let me, but yeah, I'm pretty sure the animation just picks up. There's
Now
nobody on base.
left fielder, Lowe.
Hey, 1 pitch, 1 out.
Jimenez.
So he's in the yellow, so I'm immediately going to be treating him kind of kid glovey here. But we're in the 6th. Their best hitters are coming up, so I actually don't mind bringing in Buck Farmer here. Possibly Cedeno. So if need be, because they of course would be coming in probably the 7th and 8th.
I'm out.
Wow, look at that pitch.
0-1.
You don't get swings and misses like that with everybody.
Yep, that ball went out. Aye.
Beautiful pitch. Yeah, let's throw that cutter again. Ooh, just getting some sloppy swings from these guys. Let's throw that splitter here. Step and throw, thank you.
He's out.
And this weird behind the back.
The batter, the first baseman, Jose Abreu.
What's his confidence at? It's pretty high. I mean, he gets a guy on, I'm taking him out, no doubt.
Nope, outside.
I mean, not like it really matters. We're the Tigers, so.
No, that's down.
But we think about pitch count, right? He's getting pretty tired, 83 pitches. Yeah, you could make the argument, 7 could make sense. Again, the problem for me is I don't have any pitchers with like 90 stamina to see what that does. So if you have info, post it in that Operation Sports thread. That's probably the most beneficial place to put it. Just kind of share that information. Look at this. Casey Mize, though. It's going to go 6 innings. Gets a quality start after giving up 3 runs in the first 2 innings. Wasn't a great start, but hell, he's in line to get the win. I mean, I consider it a pretty damn good start. Being on the road against the White Sox. Major League debut.
Your attention, please.
Truthfully, wasn't super sharp to begin with. So I think I'm going to do 7 next game. If he's going to come out, I'm going to take him out next, so it doesn't matter. Put that to 7 as well for next game. Now, see, I don't mind that they took him out. I don't know, I'm torn. We'll try 7. We'll kick that one up again. So Jimmy Cordero. It sounds like a computer-generated name, doesn't it? Jimmy Cordero.
Leading off for the Tigers, the right fielder, number 4.
So I gotta get those like college football names where it's like Muhammad Alvarez. So, oh, all right. So let's see here. There was a sinker, fastball, changeup, slider. Pretty good pitcher. Pitches well. He's gonna throw hard. Primary pitch the sinker though. Take a pitch here unless it's a sinker right down the middle.
Ball 1, no strike.
I'm going to take a pitch though because I want to see how fast this sinker is. Probably see it here. Yep. Still pretty hard, 97. That's a good hit. You see that ball, how it doesn't curve? That ball doesn't get into the corner, and it's just a little too close. A little too close of a play, so...
Now batting, the center fielder, Victor Reyes.
So again, let's just take a look here. I mean, everything else about it's pretty good. So again, like a ball hit, I mean, you can already see like the side spin, right? I mean, that seems pretty legitimate there. That ball has a lot of side spin when you hit it like that, and it starts to tail, but like it just doesn't. See how it doesn't bite after that? Like it bites on the infield, and see how it like right there you can see it. Like starts to go straight. Because if that trajectory keeps going, that ball is going to probably land like here, right? Ish. Let's just say like here. But where it lands, right? See, it's off by like, 4 or 5 feet. And then now that ball should still have side spin, right? And see, it's curving, but again, not much. Like that ball should be here, no question. And it's hard to pick up because it's still side spinning, right? The ball is doing this, and it should still be really hard to pick up. But this play, and this is probably one of my bigger critiques of the game this year, is just how clean all of that is. That ball, like, how does he know? How does he know the ball's gonna just bounce up like that? Plays it perfectly, turns and makes a good throw. But like, now again, I don't care if this happens sometimes. And even for like really veteran players who've maybe again played in this park for like 5 years and they logged thousands of innings a season over the 5 years they're there or whatever, they have a really, really good understanding for this wall or something like that. I think that'd be a really cool quirk. And again, it would give an added benefit to keeping veterans on your team. Of this guy, like this guy knows our right field really well. And again, it doesn't need to be super overstated. I mean, you don't keep a guy around because he's familiar with your right field wall. But, it'd be a little thing, right? We talked about the little things again. Like, it would be I think, something really cool that the game could do. I think it'd be a very nice addition. Anyway, a leadoff double, that's nice. Now he's a bunt master, but they're playing him to bunt. They always play him to bunt, and the bunts don't really work that great, so... That'll work though. That's gonna see. Now see, he had a bad read. I love those little changes. They made those a couple years ago, right? That outfielder got a bad read on that ball. And that ball got to the corner, no problem. No, not so much to the corner, but
Now batting.
it was an easy double.
14.
So I don't know if you can see there. You watch the left fielder. See, he froze. Maybe lost in the sun. I love those little changes. Now, who is there? I mean, those are great. Oh yeah, Jimenez. So, and you can see he's not a great fielder. His reaction's pretty low. I mean, those are great, right? But we want to just see more of it. Get big runs for the Tigers. Back-to-back doubles. His confidence is probably pretty low. No, not quite. That's completely fine. Because again, no real risk, no real need to steal third there.
Up
if we
next
can
the
just put 2 ground balls in play, it's
Jake
6-3.
Rogers. Your attention, please. Now pitching.
Jake
for
Rogers
White
is
Sox.
up. Would be a bad
Number
place
31.
to pinch hit here.
Matt.
But I also want to show a little confidence in the young players with good potential. Not to mention, I don't really have many other great options on the bench. So Matt Foster, very hittable, certainly can put the ball in play here.
The count.
Look at that. See? You leave him in. He's got 346 on base, but I wouldn't know that. I would have no idea until just now. Oh my goodness.
No ball, 2 strikes.
So we'll go contact swing here. For the same reason. Actually, they're playing the infield in, but it's still, contact swing's not bad because that ball can still get through over their head. Just gonna put it in play is really the key.
Count 1 and 2.
If you get a more favorable call, you could try a suicide here, but not happening right now.
Nope.
Even if it got the 3-2, I mean, they'd be totally fine just walking this guy. Not going to cost them anything. Even with the contact swing, could not put it in play.
The batter, number 9, shortstop, Jordy Mercer.
Hey. 0-1.
Ooh.
0-2 is the count.
Nope. Had to check swing there. Dang it. No, that's not good. We got to score that run. That's just not good.
Ladies and gentlemen, please join us for the traditional 7th inning stretch.
Hey, Daniel. Just missed Casey Mize's first 6 innings as a Major League Baseball player. Did pretty well. Gave up 2 in the first, 1 in the second, and then really shut things down after that. In line for the win, but obviously we don't want to jinx that.
For the White Sox, the designated
So,
hitter.
let's see, it probably makes the most sense to bring in Daniel here. So that's what we'll do. Leave Buck Farmer up, just in case.
Ladies and gentlemen,
good job, Casey
your
Mize.
attention please. Now pitching for Detroit, number 65, Xavier Cedeno.
Man, my Angels team in our Out of the Park League has just been crushing it. I know nobody probably cares, but like the team, like, I don't know, I'm literally in a position, there's an 8-game lead right now with my Angels. And I'm in a position where, like, as the trade deadline approaches, I'm not even looking to buy. Like, I'm literally considering selling as a first place team. I mean, they've just been playing that well that I'm like, well, I really don't think we're certainly not going to be buying anything, I don't think, unless something really comes along cheap. But just a really good position to be in. 8-game lead. I think the next team after that's like 12 or 15 back. Just been doing pretty darn well. Just in case we need a absolute strikeout, get Daniel Bard up. All right, well, let's protect this lead. Casey Mize. Can't wait to pitch with him again. It's fun.
Ball.
Ooh, that's not a good pitch. It has been a while since we've been protecting a lead in the 7th inning. Like, I feel rusty. Like, I almost feel nervous. Oh, good grief.
The right fielder, number 30. No more. Mazara.
Well, there it goes. I hit that perfectly on the meter, too. A lefty on lefty. I mean, I don't know what else I got to do there. Yeah, Mize did well. 6 innings, but there goes his win. Good grief. Hit batter. I mean, could have struck him out. That's what first place teams do, though. They don't make it easy, I'll tell you that. Yeah, all they really need to do for the player ratings is, I mean, just look at out of the park baseball. Yeah, that was a bomb. Wind's blowing out that way. Yeah, Cedeno's come back down to earth, and he's still been really good, but... So now...
Now batting, catcher, Yasmani.
Probably stick with this team, guys. That's fine for now. I'd like him to... Got nobody out. I'd like him to close out this inning.
0-1's the count. I got the count 0-2.
See that 6th run, right? We left a run on the board last inning. Guy on third with 1 out. He did not score. We didn't put the ball in play.
The third baseman, Caddy.
It's just things like that that can separate you. How many pitches is he throwing? Come on, man. Tie game. You just don't know how long the games are going to go. And
Ball. Counts 1-0.
this guy gets on base, though. That's it, though. He'll come out.
1 ball, 1 strike.
See, that animation's weird, right? I mean, it just looks weird.
Up next for the White Sox, the center fielder, Lowe Garcia.
1-1. One ball, 2 strikes to count. Hey!
Oh, Cedeno. Where was that all inning? Well, you play the matchups, and most of the time it works out. But sometimes it doesn't. That's why they play the games. There's Craig Kimbrell. Actually, they made a trade with the Cubs back in May. One of the rare trades. There's only been a couple trades. I think we were like the 3rd trade of the year, maybe 4th.
the third baseman, Harold.
So it hasn't gotten any easier
Castro.
for us. They're using him in a setup role, it looks like. It being a day game, I might go to Alex Wilson unless we get a lead. So it'll be one of these guys. Kimbrel, fastball, changeup, knuckle curve. Just scouting him out a little bit more here. 99 hit per 9, 99 K per 9. He's wild. So pretty much going to only swing if I get something right down the middle here.
1-0. Nope, that's down.
Good thing, I'll swing 2-0 if it's right down the middle. Fastball right down the middle, unless he hangs something.
Whoa, that's down.
Definitely taking now. Might consider pinch running. I don't know. Gotta get on base first though. Now again, very selective here. He's susceptible to walking people, so I'm not going to get him out of this. Yep. It's too high, so I thought that was going to be a strike, but I wasn't going to bail him out.
Up next for the Tigers, the designated
I'm
hitter,
thinking about it. Let's take a look.
Cabrera.
That's the first time they've ever recommended something I wanted to do. Alright, we got Nico. He's definitely the only guy. 67 speed. Definitely our fastest. Probably not going to really steal, but I don't know. I hate taking out Harold Castro. Jordy Mercer could go to second, and Scope could go to third. I don't know. It's not a tie game. I'm just not going to bother. You just don't know how long it's going to go, and I don't want to take out one of our better hitters. Oh, good dude. Got on me quick. I thought I could hit that. I got a break on it. I saw it. Had it timed up.
Jones.
I haven't really looked at who their catcher is. It's Grandal today. He doesn't have a great arm.
Nope, that's down.
I was going to swing at that if it was over the plate, but it was not.
Up next for the Tigers, the first baseman, TJ Lowe.
No, we're okay for now. Oh, good grief. Good grief. Yeah, CJ Cronin is foul balls. Yeah.
The count is 1 and 2.
Oh, man, just out in front. I saw that really well. Just out in front, though.
The right fielder, number 4, Cameron.
Yeah, I was a little off, too. Yeah, I can say. Oh. Damn, that was up in the air.
Leading off for the White Sox, the second baseman, Nick.
Doug, our Out of the Park League's been going since 2015. Daily sim league, so we've literally simmed one time each day, every single day. I mean, minus a few times we've had to like stop for a patch or something. Every single day since 2015. So we're in the 6th year. Yeah, guys, thanks for watching Ryan's stream there. I see some people talking about the prospecting for gold. Very, very different, much faster paced stream. And again, that's up on the same YouTube channel here, so definitely check that out. Thanks for doing that again, Ryan. There's some good stuff there in the chat there from Ryan. Yeah, the Cubs traded Kimbrel across town. It's wild, right? Well, we definitely have some power who is coming up later in this inning, but both these guys are okay at keeping the ball in the ballpark. But with it being the top of the order, we are going to go Buck Farmer here.
Your attention, please. Now,
really good for us. Really good.
Number 45, Buck Farmer.
One pitch and one out.
Now batting, shortstop, Tim Anderson.
One and one. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Now batting, left fielder, Lowe. Mize.
Got away with that pitch.
That's outside. That's a ball.
Uh-oh, that's gone. Damn it. I hit my spot, too. I wasn't trying to obviously put it right over the plate, but... Oh, the Red Sox are going to steal another game from us. This is just... I mean, this has been like a theme for the Tigers. How many games have we, like... Either we literally let slip away with a blown save. Although not too many, but like blown saves in the 7th, 8th. Or just games where we've just, you know, getting left runners on base, things like that. Definitely a theme of probably a lot of bad teams. It's not over yet, but man, that's a bummer. 2 sliders in a row. There was a risk throwing it, but I didn't want it there at all. It's supposed to be out of the zone. But.
Now batting, the first baseman, Jose Abreu.
A long season.
2-0.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please. Now pitching for the White Sox, number 58, Zach Putnam.
Let's take a look at Zach Putnam here.
Leading off for the Tigers,
Similar to Craig Kimbrell. With a good split finger fastball. And a sinker, so pitches will be down.
Nope, that's a ball.
Ooh boy, that is a slow splitter. Basically a changeup. You gotta treat it like a changeup.
Now batting, number 14.
Oh, good thing. Oh, I missed that. Exactly what I was looking.
Count, 0-2. Ball 1.
The catcher, number 34, Jake Rogers.
The count's 1-1.
It's your game. Tigers lose again. Mine are usually a little high. Daniel's asking the swing percentages, but I mean, it's okay. I could possibly kick them up a bit, but I'm getting good batting average ball in play, and that's kind of where I'm more focused. That's kind of like the primary objective with swings and misses being like a, kind of a sub-priority, I guess, sub-objective. Gosh. Oh, another good news, though, I feel like the White Sox did a pretty good job with their bullpen today.
Our final line score this afternoon. First for the victorious White Sox. 6 runs, 6 hits,
Calculate these
no
today.
errors.
Let's see,
They
we struck
left
out
3
12
men on
times.
base.
Good grief.
For the Tigers, 5 runs, 6 hits, 1 error. They left 4 men on base. Time of the ball game, 3 hours and 25 minutes.
Right, so for the Tigers, let's do this here. 33 at
Thank
bats.
you for joining us
We're
here
10
this
games below
afternoon.
500.
And we remind you to please drive home safely.
Just 6 hits, 2 home runs. We're going to have a pretty low batting average ball in play. No sac flies, 12 strikeouts will help the batting average ball in play, which is 211 for the Tigers. So again, pretty low. I have, like I said, I've been tempted to increase contact, but I mean, I'm a bad team. Like, I should be 10 games below 500. It's, who in this lineup is like, all-star caliber? Nobody. Not even Cabrera. At least not how he's built in this game. Still love that he had tripled there. That's hilarious. Let's check theirs. Again, of course, the batting average ball in play. I mean, at the end of the day, it's you, the player. I mean, impact that more than anything. Sliders are just a guide. 6 hits, 29 at bats. They had 2 home runs as well. Those would be a little bit higher. It's probably like 265. Sac fly. Oh, theirs is really low. They only struck out 5 times. Yeah, sorry. Theirs is 182. So, again, pretty low for both teams, even though the teams were able to put up some runs. You do see the one error. Throwing was much better now that I kind of reset that and got myself kind of situated. There was nothing in this game that seemed unrealistic. It's just we don't have clutch players for number one. I mean, it's just hard to score runs. And at the end of the day, the offense, the biggest thing for me is just I make good swings, but I also make a lot of bad swings too. And it's hard if you start the press when you have worse players and you're a team that's losing. And it's just how it goes for a team in real life, I imagine. So we only struck out 5 of their players. Casey Mize not bad. His MLB debut. But Cedeno definitely has come back down to earth. His 3rd blown save. And you just can't have those bad teams. I mean, no team wants them, but it's very hard to overcome. 62% strikes for the White Sox, 64 first pitch, pretty good. 62 for the Tigers, and 72 first pitch. Again, that's just been more of a thing I've been trying to do, is just throwing more first pitch strikes especially. I'm a little bit too nibbly sometimes. The Tigers, 13% foul ball, 17 for them. Again, those are good averages there. Balls that were swung at, 45. I mean, that's just ridiculously high. And again, it's not like my foul balls are super low. So like you could increase that slider, and it would increase foul balls. It would lower swings and misses, because if you don't have those swings and misses, your batting average ball in play is probably going to be even lower. So that's where I'm tempted, for me, to kick up contact to 6. But I don't know. Like I said, I'm not the worst offensive team in the league or anything. So it's like I don't want to go overkill. They were at 19% swings and miss. That's pretty solid, especially when we're striking out 5 times. So again, it's like the stamina thing, right? I don't have great hitters, and I don't have like workhorse starting pitchers. So it's a setting that really, like, every team's just gotta kind of adjust themselves. I mean, look at this. Just look at all this red. Look at all these losses. It's tough. It's a lot of games left. A lot of games left, but we'll get through it. A lot of games. So, like I said, is it something? I mean, we can look right now. Let me just advance the day, and we'll look and see where the Tigers stand. Not that it tells us everything, because we've obviously been adjusting the sliders and whatnot. There's Cameron. Just keep him active. Please auto fix that. Okay. See if anybody on the waiver wire. Oh yeah, we released Hector Santiago. Had too many guys on the roster. Nobody cares. He's 32 and a 50 overall. Let's see. So Rockies must have gotten someone back from injury. Same thing with the White Sox. And there they are. Guys coming back from injury. The only time you'll see the AI make roster changes, unfortunately. It's been like that for a number of years. I don't quite know. Yeah, I don't know. There's just a lot of things under the hood this game just doesn't do. It's shiny on the outside, but it does lack substance in a lot of places on the inside. So Rangers lose a player. Reds send down Amir Garrett. I'm guessing that's from obviously getting the trade of Matthew Boyd. And again, there was the trade in case you missed it. Reds acquire Matthew Boyd for Jose Garcia and Lucas Sims. Go to the Tigers. So we did sign all of our draft picks. Have no fear. I don't even understand why they make you do this because it's the easiest thing in the world. Yeah, they pretty much just take whatever you offer them. Yeah. But there they are. Tigers are 10 games under 500. And we will look at some stats, but let's just see. Are we the worst team in the American League? We're not, right? So am I fretting about anything? Not really. We're at a 422 win percentage. I mean, truthfully, that's way better than they did last year in real life. Same record as the Mets. Let me save this here. Okay, so let's look at some team rankings. So batting average. See, we're not last. I mean, we were tied for last. So again, an argument could be made there, to increase contact maybe. I do have a ton of swings and misses. So, I mean, that is one thing consistently I've been doing. But some of that's just, good grief. It's just been problematic. But if we look at that human contact, this adjusts the overall hitting ability of batters, shifts this to the right to increase batting averages. This also improves vision, which is going to help, and discipline. So, again, I kind of in between here for me. I'm unsure. Whoops. We don't really care too much about that. Again, we're towards the bottom for runs, obviously. Hits, we are in dead last. So again, maybe I might kick mine up. We hit a lot of doubles. But I think that's partly because, we don't hit a ton of home runs. But you can see that we're no longer last in home runs. Stolen bases, we're dead last. Caught stealing, we have probably the worst. Yeah, we've been terrible stealing bases, but I don't do it a lot. This will be telling here. Yeah, so we've dipped pretty low in walks, so I think I am going to increase my contact. We're 5th in strikeouts, but again, that's trending in the right direction. That looks inflated. It's really not. I was like 2nd for a while. So again, those are going the right way. Just seeing anything else we really care about. Fielding percentage. Okay, 15th. Again, I still think 6 might be a bit high. We had that 3-error game though yesterday, so that could be a reason. Pitching, we're 18th in ERA. Well, at least don't really matter. Hits allowed, 25th. Runs allowed. We've been better about allowing runs, 13th. And again, some of that just comes down to just managing a bullpen better than the AI. Home runs allowed, we've done a pretty decent job, 15th. Again, middle of the league. Base on balls, second. Again, just throwing a lot of strikes. I mean, obviously that's just how this game goes, unfortunately. But again, the Dodgers, that's all simulation, right? So they're still a team ahead of us. So, and maybe that's another reason to kick up stamina is like throw more balls. You're not so worried about burning through your endurance. Strikeouts, that's been getting better for sure. 25th. And win percentage, 24th. So, I mean, again, I can tell you right now, this is what I'm going to go with for a little bit. I'm going to kick that up. I'm going to keep that at 7. This is going to be 8, but in the games, I'm going to go 7. So, but I don't, like I said, I don't really know if that's like a 1.9 because I don't know if human contact seems to work best for most people at 5. And I don't want people to think like, oh, geez, like he wants me to kick it to 6. Like by now you should have a pretty good idea of what your sliders are doing, right? I mean, you don't need me to tell you. You don't need a new version. They're not, do what you want with them. Make combinations. I've had a lot of people tell me they use some of the older ones for certain things and then one of the newer ones for something else. I mean, that's totally cool. So, but I think those are some good changes for me. Again, just kind of looking at this again, we got 98 games left, right? So we've played, 65 or 64 games we've played. So I'm going to check in with the chat here, see if I missed anything. And yes, Daniel, it was Casey Mize's debut. Yep, Daniel, I completely agree. So you said what I said already in the chat, and you probably said it before me. 10 games below 500 is probably better than a real-life Tigers would be. Yeah, I agree. Doug, you'll have to check the beginning of the stream. I went over the whole trade there, so just rewind, and we pretty much started the stream talking about the trade. Yep, State, I completely agree about the AI just need to be smarter. Roster management. Yep, I'm working on an article for Sim Sports Gaming right now that talks a lot about that. Okay, so Daniel uses contact at 6. Yeah, Victor, we can look at the league leaders. I'll do that. All right, so let's look at league leaders here. So in the American League, some familiar names for sure. There's hits. At bats, I don't really think we care about. Doubles. Tim Anderson's just having a hell of a year. Contact rating, right? How old is he? 26. And his defense, he's not a very good defensive shortstop. Hey, Miguel Cabrera is now, he won't be on this list probably, but, oh, maybe he is. Oh, almost. How cool, though. He hit a triple last game. That's hilarious. Aaron Judge leading in home runs. RBIs, Justin Upton. Look how many former Tigers, like, you just see scattered about, like, whether it's pitching or hitting, and it's just crazy how good of a team they had. I still think the 2016 team was probably the best team that they had. I'm sorry, not 16. Or yeah, was it 6? No. Sorry, 2013. The year they played Boston. and lost to Boston in the ALCS. I think that was the best Tiger team. Stolen bases. Yeah, I think I'm good at contact at 6-2 just because now that I've kind of fixed the strikeouts, kind of trending back. They were too low for me before. Now, I just had a 12 strikeout game. That's trended back to much more of a stable play, so I do like that. So again, just showing some of the league leaders. I usually do this more like around like the third of the season mark or the quarter mark, things like that. Ooh, he's no longer first in saves, third. Another reason why I think it's stupid to use your best relief pitcher as your closer. Just want someone who's consistent. They don't have to be your best pitcher because he's just sitting the bench. That game was tight. We never used him. And maybe I should take him out of that role. But I'm trying to sell him. I'm trying to rack up a useless stat called saves in the hopes that the AI will fall in love with him. So it's nice to see no Tiger pitchers here at the top of the ERA, right? Home runs allowed. Same thing, no Tigers. So we don't have not like the pitching sliders are all jacked up. Jordan Zimmerman, but his base on ball rating is pretty damn good. And he used to have, see it dropped below 80 now, but he used to have that, I forget what it's called, basically like doesn't walk people quirk, whatever that one was. But again, he's the only one. It's not like 4 of the top 5 are Tiger pitchers. Oops, sorry, that was Whip. Justin Verlander, right? Former Tiger. Like, jeez. What on earth? Jordan Zimmerman making the list. Pitcher war, Justin Verlander leads. Who's our highest Tiger? Vizcaino, our closer. Yikes. That doesn't say a lot about your starting pitching. Daniel Norris is second. Batter war. Probably Cabrera. Or Harold Castro. Cameron Maybin, that's right. So yeah, there's some league leaders, at least around the American League. But guys, I want to save this up. I want to remind you to check out Ryan's stream, Prospecting for Gold. Ryan might have some more information on that. He usually tweets that out. Give him a follow on Twitter, Ryan. I'm sorry, I don't remember your handle exactly offhand, but if you search for Ryan Hetzer, I'm sure it'll pop up. And again, he is our moderator here for the chat, so thanks again, Ryan, for that. Also, check out Ryan's story that he posted up on Sim Sports Gaming a couple days ago, talking about MLB The Show, and I'm trying to remember what it's even about now. It's the Ryan, remind me. We talked about it in yesterday's stream. I have so many different articles and things that I'm looking at right now. I'm totally forgetting. Thanks, Ryan. So yeah, his Twitter there at let's see, is it supposed to be some RDES chain 19 at RDES. So it almost looks like at Reds chain 19, but the D and the E are reversed there. Yes, yeah, the house rules one, right. So it's kind of similar to the college football article that I did a few months back for Sim Sports Gaming, just talking about kind of utilizing house rules and trying to find that proper balance where you don't feel dirty, but you're also keeping it realistic. Sorry, I just forgot to save this here. And then, yeah, what else is going on? Yeah, we got some openings in mostly football leagues right now and our hockey league. So if you're into the tech simming universe, definitely get in touch with us because I know Nate Brooks is our commissioner for our franchise hockey manager game, a hockey game made by the same people who make Out of the Park Baseball. Some openings there, and again, daily sims, just like our baseball one. So right now well, I don't know I guess right now they're in the playoffs. Actually, I think they just finished the Stanley Cup. So they're now entering into the off season. So it's a great time to join that one. Our football league is the same thing. Our front office football league will advance tomorrow, and once a week we're in kind of the late free agency stages post draft, and just like in real life, we'll be prepping for training camps and things like that soon. Got a couple college football sim leagues as well. One uses Draft Day Sports by Wolverine Studios, and then the other one is a Grey Dog software title called Bullbound College Football. That game's been out for a while, but still a really, really great game. And plenty of openings in the college leagues, because of course there's like over 100 teams, but technically the whole league could get filled. So if you're interested, you got people interested, they just sim once a week. They're really, really fun. I used to be in both. I don't have the time. I have to cut some things out there. So, but anyway, that's what's going on in the world of SSG. If you're interested in contributing, you want to be a writer, and again, you don't have to be a professional journalist. You just have to be passionate about sports games, have something to say, be able to formulate a few paragraphs. I mean, we don't ask for a whole lot. Obviously, be accurate, that kind of thing. So, yeah, but we're always looking for people to contribute like that. It's fun to read those other things. Um, yeah, I think that about covers it. But I'm Mike Lowe. You can follow me on Twitter at MikeLowe47. This is the SSG YouTube channel. If you'd like to subscribe, go ahead. If you don't, we don't really care. So, anyway, have a good day, everyone. See you next time.